I have a question for everybody, and Jasleen may be just the person for this one. No, Jasleen's in such a good mood right now because of this goofy thing with Orchard, but morning. So I wanted to start with asking you, because I need your feedback on this in order to help answer it. If you had to pick one of the three most common questions that you are currently receiving when you're speaking to a new buyer or a new seller about whether or not they should take action, shouldn't take action, what's the most common question that you may be receiving from a buyer or a seller?
From a seller, how long is it going to take to sell my home?
Okay, all right. Now, you haven't heard that one 6 months ago, did you? No. Okay, how long is it going to take to sell my home? Good one. Another one. Pedro.
Should I buy or should I wait?
Should I buy or should I wait? Excellent. What else? What are the most common questions?
What about rates, really? What's going on with rates? Are rates going to continue to go up? Is now a good time to buy?
All right. Are rates going to continue to go up? Is now a good time to buy? Anybody else? All right. If those are the most common questions, I want to attack those for a moment, because the first thing that it does is it says to you and I that those are questions of what I call fear. How long will it take my house to sell? That's a fear question. Now, 3 and 4 years ago, that really wasn't a fear question, it was an inquiry question. Now, because the market has changed, it's more of a fear-related question, because now they're afraid, how long is it going to take my house to sell? So it's a fear question. Now, should I buy now or should I wait? Now, 2 years ago, 1 year ago, nobody said that. Or I shouldn't say nobody, but very seldom did anybody say that, because they knew interest rates were low, prices were going up fast. If I want to get in, I got to do it now, so I'm going to go buy. It wasn't a fear-related question. What's going on with interest rates? And how does that affect me if I'm going to try to buy? What should I be doing? That now is a fear-related question. It's interesting. A year ago, just 1 year ago, people would ask, Greg, do you think rates are ever going to go up? And I say, oh yeah, they're going to go up. I just don't know how soon and when and how fast and how high. But the bottom line is, yeah, they are. So what should you do? And they say, we need to buy right now. That's not the question today. Today the question is, what's going on with interest rates, and should I buy or should I not buy? So, those are three questions, and they're all related to fear. Now, there's two great motivators in life. One's fear. Anybody know what the other one is? Love, thank you. Perfect. Two greatest motivators. Tony Robbins preaches it all the time. Love and fear. They motivate people to action. So, in this case, there's a whole lot of fear. And the action people are taking, in many cases right now, is to do what?
Sit on the sidelines.
Sit on the sidelines, exactly. They're waiting. They're not moving. So we have to get a message out about why is it okay to buy today? And we've been talking about this a little bit in the more recent past. But if you had to tell somebody why should they consider making a purchase today, what would you say to them?
You'll pay less money for the house?
I'm sorry?
It won't cost you as much.
It won't cost you as much?
You don't have to go over asking.
You don't have to go over asking. You may not have to go over asking. May not. Yeah, got to say it that way, because
Pretty much every factor for buyers is better now than 6 months ago, except for your interest rate.
except for did how many of you saw that? I don't know if you saw it, Friday's Finest I sent out, and then Mike resent it to everybody. I loved your comment. I did steal it. Yes. But no, you know what? It wasn't so much stealing, Jasleen. I wanted to tell you, one of the managers in Tennessee who received it, he sent it to everybody in the organization. And then he said, I'm going to make a PDF of it so that you can use it. I thought, this is perfect. It's excellent. You know, you and I know all that stuff. We know all the benefits. So right now, what you're saying, Lanier, is that, hey, there's a lot of benefits that we didn't have 5 and 6 and 7 months ago that we have today, with one exception, high interest rates. What else would you tell people?
Well, the money that you'll save on the interest is less than the money that the house will gain, so you actually.
Okay, Pedram, thank you. You and I have conversed and we've talked about it. What Pedram is saying is the amount of money that you're going to pay over now because of the higher interest rate is considerably less than the equity gain you're going to get. Now, on Tuesday of last week, I did a little lesson for some of the folks on my internal team that I work with at FCM. And my wife was on the call with us, and I walked them through some of the things that we've talked about. And I used a $350,000 loan example. And when we got done with that call, my wife says, you have to send that out to everybody. I said, well, real estate agents have been hearing me talk about it. She says, no, you got to send it out to your client for life base and also to your social network base, because she said, Greg, that information is excellent. Nobody's talking about it. And I said, well, I'm talking about it to my real estate agents, but it's not getting out there fast enough. So I put it together, and it's going to go out this week to my client for life base and to my social network base, and I can send it out to any of you that might want it. But it basically takes a $350,000 loan, a $350,000 home, and says that home is going to appreciate at 5%. Next year, you're going to have a $17,500 gain in equity. Now, and as I said in the note, there's an assumption that home values are going to continue to rise, and I give the explanation for that. That's a powerful one. A 5% gain on a $350,000 home is $17,500 equity gain. Now, let's think about that for a minute. If I had a $350,000 mortgage, now, if you buy a home for $350,000, you're going to get a mortgage smaller than that, but let's just make the numbers easy. $350,000 mortgage. Difference between 7% and 5% is $444 a month. Figure it out. That's less than $5,300 for 12 months. So if I take $5,300 versus $17,500, does it make sense to take action today to buy a home? And the answer to that obviously is yes, under the assumption that you and I think home values are going to continue to grow. We'll talk about that in a minute. Because I am convinced home values are going to continue to grow, and they're going to grow in two ways. And we'll get to there. But anyway, think about it. A $5,400 payment difference higher, and you'll make $17,500. That's a $350 deal. What if it's $400 or $450 or $500? The numbers get even bigger, and the spread that you earn gets larger. So someone says, interest rates, I'm worried about interest rates. Should I buy now? Should I not buy now? Well, that's personal if you should buy now. Don't buy a house you don't want to buy. But one thing you don't want to do is the fear of interest rates hold you back from making the kind of money that you can make on a home in the next 12 months. Somebody says, but I'm seeing these list prices go down. The answer to that is absolutely. List prices, in some cases, are softening. No question about it. That is not the same as yours and my home value is not going down. Unless you just make a total stupid buy, a home you buy today is going to be valued more in 12 months than it is today, unless you just make a really dumb buy. Now, the list price on that home may have come down from $350,000 to $340,000. Might have. Possible. For some of the reasons that Lanier mentioned in that little thing. Because today you can negotiate a little bit. Today you can get the seller to consider paying some of the closing costs, maybe pay for the 2-1 buy down. You know, and you can actually put in your contract today contingency for financing, contingency for appraisal. Think back 6, 7, 8 months ago what we were doing. You were calling me and saying, Greg, can you give me, you know, how much time do you need for, can I get that appraisal in here? And do I need a contingency for pre-approval? The answer is that no, you don't. We've got them approved. They're fine. And I'll get the appraisal in within 7 days, if that's going to be your due diligence, or 10 days preferably. We'll get the appraisal in here. They'll pay a rush fee, but we'll have it. So think of all the money people were spending up front. Now they don't have to. So someone says, is it the right time to buy? Don't allow the fear of interest rates to get in the way of making a smart investment decision for yourself. That's the message you and I have to find a way to communicate back out to the people in the field, the people that are sitting on the sidelines. Which leads me to the second thing I want to talk about briefly, is why am I so convinced the market's going to continue to grow? I mean, it's very simple. What causes prices to go up? What's that? Demand. Demand causes supply to go up. I don't know if any of you saw the note that came out over the weekend that 70 or 71% of all the homes sold nationally in the month of September, from the time of list to the time that they got a contract, was less than 30 days. Over 70% of homes nationally went under contract in less than 30 days. Someone says, well, Greg, I thought the demand's going away. Lanier just got done saying demand is what drives prices up. That's what's happening. We still have a lot of demand. Where is all of that demand? Well, it's very simple if you just want to look at honest statistics. These are not grab out of the sky, pull this stuff weirdly. Honest to goodness statistics. You know, the biggest driver in most markets is going to be that person who's doing a first-time home buying or their first move up. That's the biggest one. Well, guess the age group that is in there. And you've heard Mike say this a little bit. The biggest age group are millennials and the older Gen Zs. That's the big group. Do you realize that there are millions more millennials and older Gen Zs in the marketplace today than when the baby boomers were at that stage of their lives, by millions? Baby boomers were not as big. So you've got this enormous group of people that would like to buy a home. So that's demand. That keeps prices up. Let's go to Pedram's note, though. What's happened to that demand? Because of fear, and because they watch the news instead of watch this video, they move over here to what I call penned up demand. And it sits here. So the demand is what keeps the prices going. Penned up demand doesn't let it go too fast because people are sitting on the sidelines. How many of you, raise your hand for me, how many of you spoke to someone in the last 30 days that has said that they're kind of waiting to see what happens with interest rates? Almost everybody in the room's heard it. Okay, people say that to me, I mean, almost every day. And when they do, I just simply ask them, it's kind of a funny question. It just says, do you think you're the only one who's sitting on the sideline? And they say, well, no, a lot of people are. I said, because they fear interest rates just like you. It's a question because what it tells them is I'm not the only one, which leads them to the second part of home prices going up. What in the world is going to happen 12 months from now when interest rates come down?
Everybody's jumping in.
Everybody's jumping in. if Lanier's point is correct and pricing is driven by demand and the pent-up demand starts coming out of the box, what in the world is going to happen with home prices?
2021 all
They're going to go up. They're going to go crazy again. So someone says, is now the right time to buy? Well, first thing is, it's up to you. I can't, if you can't put your head on a pillow at night and get comfortable with the fact that you're making a purchase, then don't do it. But if you're looking for a reason, why would I want to buy now when interest rates are 7.5%, and the newscasters are all saying how terrible it is? Why would I do it now? Simple. Lanier says demand keeps prices moving up. Pent-up demand is where you're sitting, and that pent-up demand is going to explode the market, which is going to raise prices faster just as soon as interest rates start getting a little soft. And if that's not enough, pay an extra $5,000 right now, and I'll give you $17,000 next year. Would you do it? That's the message that we need to be giving out there, along with that pros and cons thing that you saw that Mike sent out. And that is as simple as it gets. For the first time in 2 years. First time in, we went from April of 2020 through about May, June of 2022, so just over 2 years, where buyers had absolutely no control in the market. None, nada. And now, for the first time in that over 2 years, buyers actually don't have demands, but they can make some requests. So along with values continue to rise because of demand, pent-up demand is going to explode prices as soon as interest rates come down. You're going to gain more equity. Add it all up. Why not jump into the market today? All right, questions? Bill?
I have a question, but you had posted something about this about a month ago. Or
Yes.
something. I emailed you. I'm gonna steal those, do you care? And do a little video on it. I probably got the most traction off that video, responses of people.
Did you?
Yeah, it was really, just helpful to people to kind of reset. Now they haven't bought anything with me, but, a lot of people saw it, and which is good. That was good information.
Thank you. You know, I'll tell you, I'm trying to find a way, because, you know, I'm posting reels now on a regular basis, but they're only supposed to be a minute long, so it's hard to get this message in a minute. So I'm trying to find a way, if you've got any suggestions, I can take this message, which nobody wants to be on the listen for 20 minutes, and I can cut it down to about 7 to 8, maybe 9 minutes. But for me to give it to you, I'm glad to. But what really a value of what Bill said, if you can take that, brand it for you, and get it out there, and we can multiply that message. I mean, we can help each other out substantially and be a benefit to the buyers and sellers that are in the marketplace that don't even realize what they should be doing. But they should. I mean, you can tell I'm passionate about it because I believe this. I think I told many of you, I believe it so much, I just bought a house. I closed this week Friday on it. I mean, I'm not kidding. This is the perfect time to buy. Other than one thing. What? High interest rate. But who cares? What are you going to do in 2 years when rates come down?
Still gonna pay more money.
I'm just going to refinance.
Finance.
I'm just going to refinance. It's just not a big deal. I'm going to make money on equity, and then I'm going to refinance and make even more money. So you just can't lose right now. Now, somebody says, well, Greg, anything can change. I said, anything can happen. We're going to have something weird happen in the economy. Who knows? That can, but gee whiz, if we ran around with that kind of fear in our life, I mean, we may as well not even come to this office. All right, any questions? Any other comments? Jasleen?
Could you repost that, slide on the workplace today about the amount of money that you would have today versus tomorrow?
Oh, yeah. I'll do that. I'll get it out. I'll put it out. Okay,
Cause I only got it like on my
I'll get it. Anything else? All right, folks, thanks, appreciate it.